I have a lot of other videos that go into great detail on specific areas. I walk through and vlog these other subdivisions, so feel free to check those out if you want to really dive into specific areas and subdivisions of town. But this will kind of give you an idea, a general feeling of what it's like to live in Durango, and then you can dive into some other videos from there. Guys, if you're thinking about moving to Durango, make sure to give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We're licensed real estate agents here in Colorado and New Mexico, and would love to help you with anything you need here. And let's get into the video. All right, now I wanted to start by just kind of running over the different quadrants, if you will, of Durango and just giving you a real quick feel of each one. So the south, I'll just start with the south as you're coming in from New Mexico. So we're about an hour from the border of New Mexico, a little bit less. As you're coming in from New Mexico, it's more that New Mexico feel if you've ever been to New Mexico. It's a lot drier, more like pinon trees, smaller trees. You're not gonna see as many like pine trees, aspen trees, because you're still at lower elevation. So off to the left of Highway 550 is the Animas River. So there's some really, really cool properties. Some really cool acreage properties with nice green grass that are looking right over the Animas River. I just toured a property. Feel free to check that one out on my YouTube channel about what it's like to live on the Animas River, or a property with Animas views. Just kind of walked through that property and gave you a real good feel of that property. And then on the other side of Highway 550, there is just a lot more acreage type properties. But what's cool about these compared to, let's just say, another state or another area of the state, you've got some amazing mountain views kind of all around you. So it is a little bit more dry. You're not going to see as many big trees all around your house if that's what you want. But you've got a lot more flatter land, a little bit more acreage properties, and the prices are a bit lower here. Now as we let's get kind of east and get on the other side of Highway 160. Get east, there's a bigger subdivision, and I'll kind of touch on this one and areas around it, called Edgemont Meadows, Edgemont Ranch, the Edgemont area. This area, just to touch on it real quick, has some private fishing, has the Florida River running kind of behind the subdivision, has some amazing trails. They got about 10 miles worth of wood chip trails throughout it. Then as you go up that road, these subdivisions in this area are closer to Vallecito Lake, Lemon Reservoir, and the con, if you will, is that it is at higher elevation. So once you get into this kind of east side of Durango, it does climb up to higher elevation. Now let's jump over to the west side, kind of the west quadrant, if you will, of Durango. You're going to have the areas where they do climb in elevation a little bit. So you are going to generally get similar snow, just depending on the subdivision, similar snow to that Edgemont area. It's more forested. Some areas aren't. Some of it's kind of a little bit more that high desert feel, if you will. Might be the wrong term, but a little bit more views. Some areas are going to have a little bit more issue with water. It just depends though. We have a really cool subdivision that's newer called Twin Buttes out there. They've got some tennis courts. They've got a pond the kids can play in the summer. Then they've got a great Twin Buttes biking system right behind them. So you've got some great biking trails out this way. Going back east, you do have some great biking trails out there as well, called the Horse Gulch Trail System. It's a really amazing trail system. Now let's jump north real quick. Well, I'll stay in town real quick. So in town is phenomenal. Just about everybody wants to live in town. It's not really true, but a lot of people want to live in town. You're close to so many different amenities. Of course, you can walk downtown. You've got the Animas River Trail going right through in town. You've got this mountain right here, the Animas Mountain, where there's some amazing hiking and biking trails right in here, right in the middle of in town. So there's tons of trails right in town as well. And then as we get up north in the Animas Valley, it's stunning. It's just kind of another world in the Animas Valley. I feel like you almost get a little bit of a feel like you're in Hawaii, or you're in it's just really, really green. You don't have as many like pine trees, but you've got a lot of aspens, cottonwoods, and you've just got ridges on both sides of you. So it's a beautiful area. One side of the valley is called the Golden Coast Highway. It's just stunning. And you've got these big, big, beautiful views in here. You're still at low elevation, about 6,700 feet. and you're getting closer to places like Purgatory Ski Resort. And then you've got Hermosa Creek running through the valley, and you've got Hermosa Creek Trail System. Beautiful, amazing trail, goes 30 plus miles, goes actually all the way up to the area where Purgatory is. So just wanted to kind of give you that brief overview to start with this video. Just really want to be able to let you maybe eliminate a certain area or a few areas, or kind of say, yeah, that area I might want to kind of narrow in on and say that's one I really want to focus on, and maybe wait till a home pops on the market in that area. And a few other things that I want to really look at is really help you kind of carve your path as far as just what the best area is to look at, or again, what area you might be able to eliminate. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is something really kind of small that you might not know or think of. So this doesn't have to do with a particular area, but in a way it has to do with a bunch of different areas. So it's more the highways. So I want to talk about the lighting on the highways. It's great for stargazing, it's amazing, but it's fairly dark. So when a lot of people talk about their pros and cons of living further out of town, further south or further east of town, the lighting on the highways is not great. There's really no lighting. And so that was a big downside. And the reason why is there's a ton of deer and a ton of wildlife that'll run out in front of you. And I've had friends where I've seen their car just smashed in because a huge deer would run by and they'd try to avoid it. They'd hit another car and you'd see two cars just smashed together. And so not something to be afraid of, but just to be aware of, that if you're making a drive a lot at night, if you know you've got to work late or coming into town a lot at night, keep in mind in the winter, the sky gets dark at like 5 o'clock or so in the winter. So being aware of 2-lane roads going east of town, if you're looking at maybe living in Bayfield and commuting to Durango, that's going to be a negative. Even commuting up north of Durango, there's some incredible homes up north of Durango, like let's say past Hermosa area. Once you're getting like 20 minutes north, maybe a little bit closer to Purgatory, but you're commuting into Durango a lot. It is very dark. There's a lot of deer that are going to be crossing that road. I have a buddy that lives up closer to Purgatory, and he sees that a lot when he's driving up there. Something I forgot to mention about driving on those highways is if somebody does flash you, it's usually not because there's a cop or a police officer, it's actually because there's wildlife. So you really want to look around, slow down, be aware that wildlife, there could have been one deer that crossed and you already saw it, but then there's 7 more that are trying to cross and trying to figure out when to cross. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now the next thing on my list that I want to go over is just kind of talking about the outdoors. So I love the outdoors. A lot of people move here because of the outdoors. As you can see, I'm trying to film outside to just show you the beauty behind me. The river is going right behind me. So beautiful. It's really high right now. So they've got River Days tomorrow. River Days is a really cool thing, really worth looking into. Got like kayaking clinics. They've got professional kayakers out there where we can watch them compete. So it's a really cool thing. The reason I bring this up is the outdoors is a big reason that people move here and love it here. And so just want to touch on some of the areas where if you really want to be doing specific sport, you might want to live closer to. So one thing is skiing. So skiing, Purgatory Ski Resort is incredible. Another one is going to be Wolf Creek, and they are quite a bit further away. They're about an 1.5 hour drive away depending on the weather conditions. But Purgatory, if you want to be closer to Purgatory, if you want to go all the time, 2-3 days a week, great area to live in is in the valley, in Animas Valley, in the Animas Valley. So that is going to be County Road 203, County Road 250, all the subdivisions along there. I'll just mention a few. They're going to be Dalton Ranch, The Ranch. Then you're going to have subdivisions that get up past that area. You're going to have places like Celadon and places up further closer to Purgatory. There's going to be Tamron, Glacier. Glacier is stunning. It's very, very beautiful. They've got an amazing golf course going right through Glacier. And so you're going to see a lot of wildlife in this area, and you've got a lot of trails in this area as well. Kind of, you can't quite tell, but the ridge on the other side of me, there's Stevens Creek Trail. There's some great trails that go up Missionary Ridge. That's that ridge on the east side of the Animas Valley. So there's some great hiking. We are right now on Animas Mountain, and this is the mountain kind of on the edge of downtown, or on the edge of town, kind of the south end of in-town Durango. So there's a lot of great hiking in the Animas Valley, and then a lot of hiking as you get up north close to Purgatory. So if you're thinking about moving in that Animas Valley area, there's some great mountain biking, great trails. There's not much flat trails because, again, you're right in the middle of two ridges, but you're closer to that skiing. There's a lot of great skiing clinics for kids, skiing and snowboarding clinics for kids as well. So for us, the reason we really wanted to move here was just being able to raise our kids in an amazing outdoor location, or an amazing location for the outdoors. So skiing, sledding, snowshoeing, rafting, kayaking, paddleboarding, awesome hikes, amazing lakes. Just some of the things on my list, some of the things that we really wanted to be able to experience with our kids. So we've got Lake Nighthorse. That's a lake that's coming right into, as you're coming right into town. It's off to the west. There's some awesome subdivisions like Trappers Crossing. There's some great, Shenandoah is another one. There's some great subdivisions that are right around or within 5 minutes of Lake Nighthorse. Lake Nighthorse has some great swimming, great fishing. They have buoys out so that you can swim out there as well. And they do a great job. They're probably one of the best lakes as far as going and really spending time with family or younger kids. They've got a lifeguard on duty. It's just a really nice place to hang out. And when we were out there last, we saw some eagles flying over, some really, really big fish in there. I was hooked on a fish for over an hour. The fishing in there is incredible as well. And then, of course, the snowshoeing is phenomenal. There's so many places, like even this mountain in town, Durango, Animas Mountain. You can just come right up here and do some snowshoeing here. Some quotes from some locals that I wanted to share. Durango is one of the last mountain towns that isn't commercialized like Breck and Steamboat Springs or Vail. Another quote is, if you don't do the outdoor thing, you'll get bored real fast. If you're into outdoor stuff, we've got everything to offer year-round. Winter sports during the winter and everything you can imagine in the summer, and it's totally true. Feel free to message or text me and ask, like, hey, what do you guys have as far as this is concerned? And I'm happy to elaborate on it. Locals like Trimble Hot Springs, the Strader Motel. Yes, it is so great that even locals stay there. The Durango Train Museum, that's a really cool place. I haven't mentioned that in a lot of other videos. The Lost Spur, Gana's Italian, little hidden restaurant, Nayarit. That's a really good restaurant too, Mexican food. The Rec Center. Rec Center is awesome. I haven't elaborated on the Rec Center a lot in my videos. They've got an awesome indoor pool with some great stuff for little kids. I brought my son there, who's 1. They've got a nice slide. They've got a rope swing even. They've got some nice lap swimming as well, lifeguards on duty. Then upstairs, they have a nice gym. They have just about everything you need as far as the gym. It's not huge. It's not going to have a lot of the types of equipment that you'll see in a much bigger gym in a bigger town, but it's really got everything you need. And then they have a little like 130, I think it's about 130 yard track around the top of the basketball courts. So like I mentioned, they have basketball courts. I see a lot of people playing pickleball in there. Then they have racquetball courts. I think they have 2 or 3 racquetball courts. They have classes. They have, just a lot of classes as well. They have an outdoor little splash pad. I think it's closed right now. But overall, the rec center is awesome. It's right located off of the river trail, kind of as you're getting into town off of, I want to say 32nd Street. I forget the exact street it's off of, but right in that area as you're getting into town from coming from the north side of town. Then the amenities overall, like shopping, nightlife is limited here. If you want that city feel, don't move here. They do have a decent nightlife compared to some really, really tiny mountain towns. So nothing compared to, Denver, Houston, San Diego, of course. I've lived in some of those. I've lived in San Diego, so I definitely know the difference. But They still have some restaurants that close later at night compared to somewhere like Pagosa or Bayfield or some of these really, really small towns. Then just to elaborate on amenities, they are limited. There isn't decent selection. We don't have a Target. We don't have a lot of those bigger box stores. We don't have much as far as our mall is concerned. There's a few stores in there. There's not much. We do have a couple movie theaters. But it's a great place for kids in a lot of different ways. We don't have a lot of those big, like trampoline parks. They do have some of that in Farmington though, about an hour south of us. Great place for kids because they have a lot of like clinics. They have biking clinics, ski classes, kayaking lessons. They have some really cool like outdoor lessons and classes and clinics. They have a little outdoor school for kids. Then there's a decent amount of races. There's a triathlon. There's a race called Valkyrie that's going to be going on, I want to say it's like September 16th this year. Looks really cool. I think the total is like 112 miles. It's like almost every sport. It looks really, really cool. So it's got, see if I can remember this. It's got kayaking, paddle boarding, it's got mountain biking, road biking, trail running, and road running, if I'm not mistaken. I might have messed that up, but it's a really, really cool, looks like a really cool race. I'm planning on doing it. And so they've got a decent amount of races here. They've got some really cool mountain races. They got one called Imogen. It's over one of the passes that a lot of people four-wheel in the summer. Really incredible views, out of this world views. Really tough race. I think it's like I forget how many miles it is, somewhere around 14, 13 miles of a lot of climbing. And then they've got like good contractors, as far as kind of cons, like good contractors can be hard to come by. There's a lot of people that are really busy because of a lot of new builds going on, but there's just not a lot of people like contractors and plumbers available. In my experience, I've talked to a lot of clients of mine. They've had a little bit harder time getting a hold of people like that and getting better service. Then a really big plus is the city is really, really good at keeping the roads clear when it snows. I'm really impressed when we get our first snow. You'll see people out there at midnight clearing the roads. They do a phenomenal job. Guys, if you've been thinking about moving to Durango, make sure you give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving here to Durango. We are licensed realtors here in Durango. We'd love to help you when it comes to anything real estate related. Please make sure to leave me a comment as to what other videos you would like me to shoot, or any thoughts on this video as well, anything you'd like me to elaborate on. And please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you on the next video.